put our hands together for Mr. David Wygant.
Good thing I don't have stage fright. You guys are all so intimidating right now, like you, man, especially Cliff. Cliff's sitting there with a big smile on his face. So I want to talk about something that nobody else is going to talk about. All you guys came here because it's transition to sex. You know, how am I going to transition to sex? How am I going to turn her on? What methods can I use to turn her on? You know what I say? Fuck her. Okay? Seriously, fuck her. What turns you guys on? For a minute here, I want you to write down. Who's got pieces of paper and stuff? I want you to write down something that's really important, okay? What do you want? Everybody's so caught up, and I did the same thing too. I mean, I'm in my 40s right now. When I was 22 years old, I was the same way, man. How can I turn her on? How can I transition to sex? When do I go for the bra? When do I go for the kiss? When do I grab the panties, you know? When do I take off her clothes? When do I rip off her clothes? How do I rip off her clothes? And you know what I forgot during this whole process? What I wanted. How did I want a woman to seduce me? For a moment now, I want you guys to write something down, how I want to be seduced. Not me, because I ain't telling you. I don't want to be seduced by any of you guys, okay? But I want you all to write down, I want you to do something different. I want you to write down how you want to be seduced. Let's say your fantasy girl is standing right in front of you right now. She's beautiful. She's your vision of beauty. She's exactly what you want, okay? How do you want her to seduce you? How do you want her to come on to you? How do you want to feel in her presence? What do you want her to do to you? Do you want her to bend down on her knees? Do you want her to pray to you? What do you want? Let your mind wander. Because you know what? If you don't think that's important, you're wrong. Because basically in my early 20s, my dick was just basically chasing me around. Every time I saw a woman on the street, I think, how am I going to get her number? How am I going to get her in a bed? How am I going to do this? Because the penis was just doing the talking. It was winking at her. It was doing all the talking. Then when I went out on a date with her, I was so obsessed with how to transition to sex. How do I close the deal? How do I close the deal? How do I seal the deal? This is the shit that went on in my head, the monkey chatter. Right? Sound like any of your heads going off? That monkey chatter. It's like this. It screams. You have to go to the bathroom and take a break. You look, your eyes are all bugged out. You're not even listening to what she's saying. She's basically telling you at 23 she wants 3 kids in a month, but you don't hear that. Because the only thing you hear is your dick talking to you. How the hell do we get out of our pants tonight, and how do we transition to sex? And the thing took me a long time to learn, because I would think about this over and over again. I'd hang out on a date, and I'd think, how can I get her back to my apartment? Oh, man, I remember those days, stressed out. So stressed out that by the time she got back to the apartment, fuck, if I wasn't fucked up, nothing was working. Because I was so nervous. I was so nervous because I was so obsessed with how to transition to sex, how to kiss her, when to touch her. Is it all right to touch the boob? Is it okay to go down there? Was it the 3rd date? Was it the 4th date? What are the rules? That I never thought about what I wanted. So the number one thing you guys need to write down and really need to think about is what you want. How you want her to seduce you, because it's 50-50. If it's not, you will be bored. If she ain't doing her fucking part of it, you're just going to be bored. Because eventually you'll perfect the seduction. Eventually you'll figure out how to turn her on. Eventually you'll figure out how to transition to sex. But if she's just laying there like a sack of potatoes, it's not going to be fun. If she's not going down on you and reciprocating, it's not going to be fun. So really important, because I didn't think about this shit. And I basically fucked sack of potatoes throughout my 20s. And it wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy it. I dated a sack of potatoes for like 3 months, but I was getting laid. She wasn't doing anything. I swear to God, I had to take her pulse in the middle of it. I wanted to ask her if she was alive. Not a peep. Not a sound. I'd ask afterwards, was that good? I loved it. I could tell. You know, and I started hanging with all these different women, and I remember some of my relationships. My relationships were based on begging and pleading. Aren't they fun? Because I knew what I wanted, but I never really made it important, so I would always be the pleaser. You know, let me please her. God, let me please her. Let me give her the best orgasm in the entire world. What's that about? Your ego. If you think about what transition is sex is, it's all about your ego. Because your ego is basically telling you what? You want to be validated that you can turn this woman on. Fuck her. can she turn you on? Because it's 50-50. Because if she's not turning you on and you're just trying to turn her on, then all you're doing is validating this ego. And the ego can go back to a long time. Some of us go back to our high school days when we weren't very successful with girls. Some of it go back to the way our dads taught of us. Some of us go back to, there's so many paths that you can go down. I'm going to show these people from high school that I'm a stud now because I can go and transition to sex. So you go and you sleep with a bunch of women you'd never sleep with before. Why? Because your penis and your ego are working together. And you want to be validated without thinking about what your heart really wants. And believe me, if you skip your heart, you're going to waste a lot of time. I was great at wasting time. My 20s was just a waste of time. If I go back in my 20s right now, and the woman that I lived with, another one I chased, I remember I chased her all the way to Jamaica. I took her to Jamaica like an idiot. Chased her throughout the whole trip in Jamaica. I wanted her to love me. I wanted to transition to love. That's another transition too. How many get her to love me? How many of you have gone out with a woman you know and she doesn't really like you? How can I get her? It's not about getting her. It's about selection and choice. Two people, 50-50. Always. If someone's giving you 60%, why would you accept it? 100% effort on both parts. Sex, emotions, and everything. I wasted time. Why do you think I love doing this so much now? 47 years old, I do this now because I know about time wasting. My 20s, as much as I had fun, man, I wasted time. I called it the three-headed monster. Same woman each time. Same relationship over and over again. Meeting a woman that basically I wanted to go and transition to sex. My ego got her laid. My ego made her feel really good. 6 months into the relationship, I realized she does nothing for me. And I had no balls because I was bad about transitioning to breakup. I hated breaking up. Hated it. So I got them to hate me. It's a great formula. If you guys want it, email me. It's fabulous for everybody that's got no spine. Shit, some of them lived with me. I had to transition to break up under the same roof. I tried everything. Why? Because my ego knew that I could please them because I was always about transitioning to sex, but my heart and my body were not satisfied. Nothing worse than coming home, you got the hots for the person you're with, and you begged your way into the bedroom. You do much better begging on the street on a Saturday afternoon. At least you make a little bit of money, you're satisfied, you talk to people. So really, I'd like to take this out because everybody's going to talk about transitioning to sex, the techniques to get to sex. When really the only thing you need to realize is what the fuck do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? How do you want it to go down? How do you want a woman to satisfy you? Now, I'm not saying be a selfish prick and don't satisfy her because the bottom line is that you need to all become a great lover. And that you can read about. You can pick up a book, pick up a DVD. There's all that shit nowadays, that soft porn, and watch it. Do not watch porn because that cum shot is not the way women want it to end. They do not want it all over their face and all over their hair, and they don't want you going like this. Yeah. Plus, no human being has loads like that. I swear to God, there's an elephant being jerked off in the corner. You don't see it due to editing. And this giant fucking load that's dousing her all over is the elephant's. And you know what he's doing? He's going, yeah. Because he's a man and men are pigs. But that's okay. So really, do not watch porn. Any of you guys watch porn? Fucking throw it out right now. Delete YouPorn. My member site the other day, I did a clip for YouPorn because I taught them what not to do. Porn does not work. A woman does not sit there in front of you and spank her ass 6 times before she gets herself off. It doesn't happen that way. Women don't self-spank. You need to realize what sex is about. And a lot of you have different levels of sexual skills, different experiences in life. But what you have to realize is that women are about emotional connections. How many of you want a one-night stand tonight? Raise your hand and be honest. Okay? The best one-night stand is not being the convincer, the salesman. So listen, if you go home with me right now, I swear to God, I'm going to lick your pussy so good you're just going to spin, right? I know how to take 2 fingers because I learned on the internet that I can hit the G-spot and make you squirt all over the place. Come back to my room. Come on. That's literally what you fucking guys sound like when you do it because I was like that. I had bets with friends in my 20s. I was in Puerto Rico, stoned out of my mind on a pot cookie, did some cocaine and drank. There's a good combination. And I was sitting in the hotel lobby, 3:30 in the morning. Some girl was sitting there, and I just convinced her, let's go upstairs to my room. I'm going to fuck you really hard, really good, really good. I don't even know you. Isn't it exciting? She went up to the room. Was I excited? No. Combination of the drugs and nervousness, I had to take a popsicle stick and get it to work. Come on, buddy, let's go. My ego wants to get laid. I learned something about one-night stands, and I learned something about sex, that when you emotionally connect with a woman, it's not a one-night stand, it's an experience. And that's something that a lot of guys don't realize, okay, is that women are romantic comedies. They really are. Go watch that shit instead of porn. Fuck, go rent 6 Hugh Grant movies instead of renting Hugh Grant and, well, we know what he did with the hooker, but, instead of that. Exact lust. That was just perversion. Rent 6 Hugh Grant comedies. Watch that shit. It's torture. I know. But watch it. Because this is what women want. They're a romantic comedy. It's about a moment to them. Can you create that moment? Because sex starts the second you talk to them. They are either turned on to you or turned off to you by the second you walk over there. So transitioning into sex starts from the second you say hello. Remember Jerry Maguire? You had me at hello? When he just babbled all that other shit? It's the attitude. It's the way you convey your voice tone. Everybody right now, on the count of 3, I want everybody to say hello, okay? And I'm going to tell you if any of you can transition to sex from your hellos, okay? 1, 2, 3. Hello. There we go. That's power. That's conviction. That's what it's like being a man. Women are attracted to men. You put a naked man in front of a woman, it really doesn't do much. A penis is a penis. They're not like us. We see a woman, we're like, oh my God, who chiseled that? We freak the fuck out like we've never seen breasts before. But men, it's about your attitude. It's about how you say hello. It's about what you say when you walk over. It's the way you convey your body language, your posture. It starts from the minute you wake up that morning. How you dress, how you act, how you walk, and how you talk. If you don't talk with power in your voice, you ain't going to get no reaction. From the second you walk over to a woman, you're creating a romantic comedy. You're transitioning to sex from the second you walk over there. By the way you look her in the eyes, eye contact, very important. Do not look down at the ground. Do not show weakness. If you show direct eye contact when you talk to her, when you get her phone number, she will get excited to go out with you, and there will be sexual feelings there. Ask any woman when they met their boyfriend, they'll describe it perfectly. What you said, how you were, what you did, how you dressed, they'll remember that day really well. Sex starts from the second you talk to her, by the way you ask her out on that date. A lot of people don't talk about this. They're talking about techniques. Fuck techniques, man. Live from here. You know, and all of you know from following me, PUA to me stands for, and I know everybody's going to be pissed off, and I say this every year, and shit, it gets put all over the internet, and here he goes again, David making fun of the community, but I got to do it once. Pickup stands for me. Where's Kim? Hey, Kim, what does pickup stand? Pickup asshole. Kim works for me. He's my best coach. You're all going to talk to him afterwards. Trust me. But pick up asshole. What are you trying to pick up, man? You want to transition to sex? Be a man. Understand women's feelings and emotions. Create that romantic comedy. Create it. When you ask her out, you want to transition to sex? You want to get laid on a date? You transition to sex by knowing where you're going on that date. Learn information. Every time you go and talk to a woman that you're turned on by, and remember what you want too, because it's really important, because strong men always get what they want. Look at Bill Clinton. All right, well, maybe he went for the wrong woman, but But strong men always get great blowjobs. Weak men don't. Strong men always get women fucking seducing them. Weak men don't. When's the last time all of you, tell me, raise your hand, who had a great blowjob in the last month? Raise your hand. Good. So you guys are getting it. You understand the only reason why that woman gave you such head is because she respected you. She was turned on by you. You seduced her. You transitioned to sex. Probably because you hit an emotional chord in her. You made her feel good. You basically went and you kissed her right, and you didn't act like an animal. But it starts from the get-go. When you're first talking to her, what are you doing? You're gathering information. Why? So that when you ask her out, you can take her to a place that makes sense. She's got a dog. She's excited about the dog. You got a dog. Gee, do I see a beach walk with 2 dogs, you know? You have a plan of action right from the get-go. You listen. Because to emotionally connect to a woman is you're listening. Sex does not start in the groin for her. She doesn't wake up in the morning with a heart on. She doesn't wake up and say, oh my God, I'm so wet this morning. Want to feel? When's the last time you were laying next to a woman and she says, touch my pussy, it's wet? When she woke up. She doesn't wake up and do morning dew all over your stomach. Unlike when we wake up, we got a heart on and we're digging it into her back. We act like we've never had a boner before. Feel. We all do it. We'll do it till the day we die because we're proud of that thing. It's working. Good morning. And then she touches it and she gets turned on and you haven't peed yet. That's not fun. Then she says, why are you going to pee right now? I'm wet, I got morning dew. And then you go and you pee and what happens? It disappears. And then it doesn't come back as quickly because you're up. And then you got to shit too, so you're all in trouble. So what you guys got to realize is it's the power of who you are. When you go out on that date, don't think about it. Don't think about, oh my God, I got to go in for the kiss. So many guys are fucking whack, man. You see the emails I get like 300 emails a day, and people go, I'm on a date. Should I go and kiss for hour 2 or hour 1? Hour 2, hour 1? Like, pay attention to the date. Are you guys even connecting? Are you listening? Are you talking? Are you smiling? Are you laughing? Is your body language being the leader, or are you just watching all the time? She flipped her hair. Now's the time for the kiss. Oops, I almost threw the mic down. She flipped her hair because she had an itch. You guys look for too many signs. I don't give a fuck about the signs, man. Leaders don't care about the signs. You lead with your body language, strong body language. You want to lean in? You want to hold her hand? Do it. You want to play with her fingers a little bit? Do it. You want to walk through the door? Don't walk first. You're a barrel outer. You walk first. You don't walk first. You let her. You take the small of your hand on her back. You open up the door and you let her go through. You listen really carefully. And then at the end of the night, you do something that probably nobody does. You act like you just had sex 5 minutes ago. No, do not go to the bathroom and jerk off. I've seen that in restaurants. It's fucking nasty, man. Fuck. I've seen guys, man, in the bathroom. It's like, what, is there a monkey in there? Or are you just jerking off because you know you're not getting laid and you can't control your hormones? Act like you just had a kiss. Look at her directly in the eyes. Drop her off like a man. Do not stick the cobra down her throat. When you look at her directly like this, in her eyes. Say goodnight. Tell her you had a good time. Tell her why you had a good time. I really enjoyed talking about that trip tonight, man. I'll tell you, you make me want to go to Italy so badly. Lean in and give her a little kiss on the lips and then pull back and then walk away. Make her think about you instead of you thinking about her. Because that's why it goes back to that exercise in the beginning. What do you want? How do you want her to seduce you? How do you want her to make you feel? You're only going to get there by pawing at her, grabbing at her, and thinking you need to close the deal with a big cobra kiss. No reason for that. Plenty of time, man. Act like you've been making out your whole life. You have, if you think about it. Some of it may be a little more sporadic, but she doesn't need to know that. It's all mindset. Who's a football fan in this room? It's all mindset, man. It really is. Take a look at Peyton Manning. Take a look at Drew Brees. Take a look at Tom Brady. You ever think that when the game is on the line that they don't think that they ever have doubt? It's called doubt. When you go in there and you give her a kiss goodnight, and you expect and you want to close the deal with a big kiss, it means you doubted yourself. You doubted the date, you doubted the emotions, you doubted everything. You didn't read her. Give her a little kiss. Give her something to think about. It's great. Get her thinking. Women are about foreplay, but foreplay starts right away. Foreplay isn't just, okay, I'm going to take her bra off, I'm going to play with each breast 5 minutes, okay, twirl around the nipples, bite each nipple 13 different times, I'm going to work my way down the stomach, I'm going to kiss around the vagina for 3.5 minutes on each side, okay, so make sure it's properly lubricated, okay, then at that moment I'm going to insert 1 finger in there, not 2 fingers, because 2 fingers are for later when I really want to pound the G-spot, because that's what I watched in this little soft porn thing. Then I'm going to take my tongue. I'm going to go back and forth on the clip. You know what? Every woman's different. Every pussy is different. Every dick is different. Every body is different. Everybody's body, that's almost a very funny term, everybody's body will respond differently. So stop having the concept that there's one size fits all. But realize the one size that fits all to transition to sex is that you're dealing with females, emotions, so many emotions, constantly, cycles of emotions, pre-period, after period, during periods, menstruating, not menstruating. Same thing as period, just making sure you guys are paying attention, okay? But you're dealing with different emotions. So realize you want to create an emotion in her. You want to get her stirring inside. So transition to sex starts by being a guy that acts like you just got laid. A guy that knows what he wants. A guy that can demand what he wants, but not in a gross way. Don't take her hair like a caveman, pull her down like this and go, suck this bitch. It doesn't work. Unless, of course, she's watched the same pornos you have. Or she's just young and dumb and wants to do it. But really act. It's in your head. Walk with confidence. Believe that you're turning her on already. Believe that she is having sexual fantasies about you. Believe it. Act it. Know that you can turn her on. But do it inside your head. Do it inside her heart. Make her ache for you. By doing this on a first date, you will not ever be disappointed. You will not ever think, why didn't I kiss her? I should have kissed her. I should have closed her. You know, fuck closing. They're not doors. And you're not magicians. They're going to close themselves. If they like you and they want to be with you and you listen to them and you get connected to their emotions, you're going to close them. The key thing here is understanding, is taking your dick out of your head, your dick out of your ego, and being patient about this. The best sex you will ever have is when it's mutual. When two people know exactly what they want and they rip each other's clothes off and they fuck like maniacs. That's what we all want, right? Who doesn't want that? Raise your hands. Thank God we got finally something fucking mutual, man. We got an overwhelming majority right now. That's what you all want. That's what they want. You watch romantic comedies, there's tension going on a date, right? The guy leans in and touches and plays with her fingers a little bit. He doesn't kiss her at the end of the first date. He gives her a little peck on the lips. The second date, he takes her to something that she was really always wanted to go do. She always wanted to go back to the amusement park or whatever it is. So he takes her. They go play miniature golf and they bet. And at the end of that date, he gives her a little bigger kiss, right? And he builds it up and builds it up and builds up the sexual tension. So all of a sudden you see the scene in the movie and what? They're fucking going crazy. Clothes are flying off all over the place. She can't resist. And you no longer have to convince her. You don't have to be a traveling salesman or a clit salesman, you know, telling her all the magic you're going to do with your tongue and your fingers on her clit. She doesn't give a shit about that because in her imagination, she's already imagined how fucking good it will be to go to bed with you. She's already thought about you because she's looking at you as a man, not like a boy who hasn't been laid. And a lot of guys act like boys that haven't been laid. You want her to look at you like you're a man, because that's what we all are. We're all men at different ages, different stages in our life, but that's what we are. And that's what women are looking at for. I've been coaching women in my blog every day. I got a new blog I put up every day, and women contribute all day long. You should read the comments that they do and what they want. A lot of it's the opposite of what guys are being taught. Why? Because guys don't pay attention. They just want a guy to walk over and claim them. Claim her from the get-go. Have balls, use your balls, but don't let your balls control you. Sex will be amazing once you connect with her emotions. I don't care if it's a one-night stand or a relationship. You can have great sex every single time if you connect to her emotions. Because there are women that just want one-night stands. There's not a super slut that gets passed around that every guy gets a turn with. That was high school. And I missed. And the funny thing is I missed my turn with my super slut in high school. She's like a Facebook friend. I'm like, where were you 30 years ago? I almost thought I had her, like right before the prom. My girlfriend broke up with me. I was weeping. Remember when your high school, when you got broken up with in high school, you weeped? It's like, remember that? It was like, everywhere I turned, I'd go there, I'd see her, I'd see the part we made out at the locker. I mean, it's like, who the fuck wants to sound like that? I weeped. And I almost got a mercy blowjob from her. Except instead of getting the blowjob, what did I do? I weeped. So now we're Facebook friends, and it's funny. I said, hey, how come we didn't go to the prom together? She goes, well, you didn't ask. I go, she didn't remember that I weeped. We all have wept. But we're all here for a purpose. And that purpose is to understand women better. There is no system. There's no A, B, C, D. I will never tell any of you guys, if you do A, you do B, you do C, you do D. Because it means you're not present. Women know you're not present. Women know you're checking out. They know exactly when you're thinking with your dick. They can feel it. It's not organic. When you get them back to your house for the third date, you made them a dinner, and all of a sudden, okay, you got candles lit all over the house, you're doing everything great, and then you get to the bedroom, you act like an animal. If she doesn't want to sleep with you, what do? Do you convince her? No. You say, no big deal. We'll do it another time. And you walk away. It's fine. You'll have another time. Do you want her to sleep with you before she's ready? Because if she does, then that fucking women guilt comes in. And then if you don't call at the exact hour you're supposed to call, you're done. You didn't call? I fucked him Saturday morning. You didn't call till Saturday at midnight. Well, he's out there. He must be trying to booty call me. You don't want to deal with that. You want to sleep with them when they're ready. You want to have patience. And patience is the key to everything you want in your life. If you're patient, you'll get what you want. But also going back to the most important thing here, okay, is remembering who you are and what you want. And being patient about that and waiting out. Do you guys want to do the same thing I did? Oh, please. Come on. That's pathetic laying in bed next to somebody. You're laying there, you got the heart on, you poke them, and then you got to beg them to have sex with you. They should be impressed with the skill of that heart on. They should be impressed with you as much as you're impressed with them. They should be fascinated with you as much as you're fascinated with them. And the only way to do that is to connect to their emotions. They don't want to have sex that night. What do we all say now? No big deal. You don't need to brag to your friends. You don't need to tell your friends exactly what went down. You don't need validation from anybody. You don't need to get on any of those fucking layers and start fucking saying, I did this, I did this. How could I have slept with her? You don't need that shit. Because if you truly believe that she's turned on by you, and if you truly connected to her emotions, she's going to really, really get turned on by you. She's laying in bed with you, she's not ready to sleep with you that night. You calm him down. You talk to him and go, down, boy. He listens. You yell at him. You do anything possible. You look at your dog licking herself, and then you get turned off. Anything to turn yourself off. And you make sure you call her the very next day, and you tell her what a great night you had, and you look forward to seeing her again. And you show her that you're a gentleman, and you show her that you're somebody that understands female emotions and understands the way women think. She will fuck you, and it will be unbelievable. It's much better when it's 50-50. It's much better when it's on her terms than when you're a clit salesman. Because when you're a clit salesman, there's going to be guilt in there. She's going to talk to her friend. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe you slept with that guy. Why'd you sleep with that guy? He's never going to call you. Boom. Their friends are annoying that way. They're like this awful, they're like defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, but they're like, Wayne Fonts, who used to coach the Lions. They're like awful coaches. Women's friends give the worst advice. You don't ever want her going back to the friends. You want to keep it between the two of you. They go back to the friends, you're fucked, and you ain't getting fucked. So you transition to sex by being patient, by knowing what you want, by kissing really easy on that first date. Adam gave a definition of a kiss. It was really wonderful. Where are you, Adam? He's not in here. He's making out with his wife, okay? But he gave a nice definition of a kiss. You see how gentle it was and how nice it was. Women love that. Be gentle, be nice, take your lips, be gentle. Plenty of time for heavy-duty making out. We like the heavy duty making out. So do they, but you gotta like build it up. It's all about building. But first believe in yourself. Write down what you want. I've repeated that 3 times because I know it's the most important thing, because I don't want any of you emailing me in 10 years and go, I just spent 10 years like you did in your 20s. How the hell do I get out of this torture? And I can admit that my 20s was fucking a blast. But I got to tell you that if I went back in time, I would have never dated any of those. I would have dated a lot of the women I dated, but I never would have had relationships with not one of those women. I didn't need to learn those lessons. I didn't need to beg, because it just screws you up in the long run. Because personal development, guys, is a lifetime of work. A lifetime. What you learn today, what you learn tomorrow, you're just going to learn more the next day and the next day. Every day I learn something new about myself, and every day I challenge myself. So I'm going to give you guys one final thought. Kim right there, okay, works for me. Everybody say hi to Kim. Kim's going to give away a free hour-and-a-half kind of really good transition to sex mindset. How to walk the walk, how to talk the talk. He's going to take you out and about, but he's going to do it in a few weeks. So if you want to do it, sign up. Also, I've got my cards here, okay, which every single person who emails me on this card will get a special audio that I've never released ever in public. And it's going to be something that really talks about self-love and how to really feel this every single day, so women are attracted to you. So women are chasing you. So when you go out on dates, their desire for you, their fucking legs are going like this, back and forth, man. They can't sit still, because they are soaking wet, because you are the hottest guy they've ever laid eyes on. Because every one of you guys want to feel that. So pass out, take these cards, pass them around. You email me on Monday, or tonight, or tomorrow. I won't get back to you till Monday. But I will send you a link for something that will blow you away. And as Johnny's looking at me right now, man, I am so done right now. It's ridiculous, okay? So I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I did the kiss. I did it 2 times, man, just for you. Johnny wanted me to make sure. He goes like this. I did the kiss, right? The slow, secure, I know I'm going to fucking fuck you another day, walk away like that. God damn, I'm going to fuck you. And look at him like that. When you kiss him, look in the right in the eyes, go, you're going to fuck me so hard tomorrow, it doesn't even matter. And you just walk away. Thanks, guys.